Thanks for staying with us on SABC News. Labour unions affiliated to the South African Federation of Trade Unions, SAFTU, have embarked on protests in solidarity with striking Clover workers globally. The unions are calling for boycott of the company's products for embarking on a restructuring process and cutting jobs. The demonstrations are taking place across the country in South Africa, including Cape Town and Johannesburg. My colleague Kailihle Kumalo is there. A very good afternoon to you, Kailihle. Just explain to us what's happening there.
Well, that's right. You can see that the workers from Clover and many other, labor unions have converged outside here, the Israeli Trade Center here in Sandton. So they have a very clear demand. They say no to retrenchments, but also they are sympathizing with the people of Palestine. We know of the very long-standing conflict in the Middle East that has been going on for some time. But joining us now is SAFTU's General Secretary, Mr. Vavi. So, sir, thank you so much indeed for joining us here on SABC. Perhaps tell us about the primary demands. Why are you here today?
Well, here we want a disinvestment of the SABC, the company that have come to invest, take over Clover together with Milcom, because they have promised the Competition Commission that they will not be retrenching workers until October, that they will actually be creating 550 jobs in the next 5 years. Instead of doing that, they are retrenching 2,000 workers. They are closing 6 plants of Clover in Lichtenburg, in Milnerton, Parow in the Western Cape, in City Deep in Johannesburg, in Frankfurt and Heidelberg. 6 plants are going to be closed down, resulting to 2,000 jobs. And we have a reason to believe that beyond that, they're going to be retrenching more and more workers. Because quite clearly, they are retrenching workers inside, they are closing down the inland plants in order to open the factories in the harbors. And we believe that they will use those harbors to import finished goods from the occupied lands of Palestine, which is where this brutal Israeli company is forcefully operating from. And we're saying no. And that's why we've come here to the Trade Center of Israel to say, ask your company to go and leave us in peace. Ensure that the 2,000 jobs are not lost. Ensure that the factories that are targeted to be closed are not closed. And stop this nonsense of wanting to cut a staggering 20% of wages of workers.
And just once again, sir, obviously Clover has cited quite a number of reasons. They're talking about the economy that is not performing very well. What do you make of the argument that they've brought forward? But also, let's look at the link between this particular company and what's currently happening in the Middle East. You seem to be very adamant in saying that they can't continue to be here in South Africa.
Absolutely. Firstly, it is a lie that all of a sudden the South African economy has collapsed. Why then did they take a decision in 2019 to invest here? It is not true that they are wanting to disinvest from Lichtenburg because there's poor service delivery. Because the Northwest government have been asking for a meeting with this company. They are refusing to meet with both the local and the provincial government because they are so hell-bent to pursue a strategy of hollowing out the manufacturing capacity of South Africa and then creating these harbors where we're going to be receiving finished goods from Palestine-occupied territories. This battle of workers is not just a narrow battle to defend 20% wages or cut off the wages. This battle, and this is the call we want to make, should be uniting every political party that ever took a resolution to stand in solidarity with the people of Palestine, including the ANC. And we are so disgusted that the ANC receives the ambassador of Israel yesterday, smile and shake hands with the blood suckers, the former leaders of the ANC should be turning their heads in shame that the current leadership have no qualms in contradicting their own conference resolutions, that they will stand in solidarity with the Palestinian people. How could you do that in the middle of the butchering, not only of the people of Palestine, but now butcher of the people of South Africa, warehousing our economy, hollowing out its manufacturing sector, destroying and killing thousands of jobs. There you come as the leader of that nation to say, welcome, ambassador from that country occupying another person's land somewhere else, which you are condemning in your conference without fail.
What do you make of the argument where South Africa says they really support a two-state solution?
Nonsense.
So if they do accept an Israeli ambassador, it's part of making sure that they meet both parties.
Nonsense. Is this continuous politics of South Africa of convenience? We indicate left and then we turn right. In our conferences, we take strong resolution where with the people of Palestine, we support their struggle. We condemn the occupation of their land by a very strong army that is armed by the American imperialist regime. But on daily basis, you undermine that struggle. You refuse to participate in the disinvestment campaign that have been called, that is supported in your own conferences. You shake hands with the ambassadors of that country without any shame. And then you continue to claim that you are a revolutionary. You are not a revolutionary. You are a counter-revolutionary.
All right, so thank you so much indeed for your time. Of course, that is SAFTU's General Secretary, obviously really raising his concern about that particular moment when South Africa took the credentials of Israeli ambassador here in South Africa. So they will continue to intensify their struggle against Clover. They're very quite determined that they'll be able to fight for the workers and reach a very positive outcome.
Khalihle Khumalo, following that Clover protest, thanks so much for that update.